What's up, my Cancer Soul family? Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome into the channel. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can stay up to date with all of my collective readings each month. Of course, I also offer other things too, like guided meditations and like astrology, numerology, forecast, things like that. So yeah, make sure you turn on that notification button. I would definitely appreciate the love and support. All right, you guys. So, like I was saying, this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and even Venus. This is going to be an outlook at July 2026. So before we get into your personal cards, I want to just get into the energy of July a little bit because we are kicking off in your season, Cancer. This is, Cancer season at the beginning of the month and then Leo coming in later. But yeah, Cancer season very closely relates to the number seven energy of July. Traditionally speaking, it is the seventh month, so it is a seven type of energy. And that is very much about like spiritual awareness, introspection. It's related, think of like the Hermit card in traditional tarot. So it's an introspection that distills wisdom. And Cancer, for you guys, and for your energy, what it's bringing in for the collective this month is very much kind of related to, I would say, the hero's journey, right? Where it is all about going within and looking at, like, let's say, emotional patterns or family patterns, things that are like related to home and safety, the things that you've kind of been like working on within yourself, or that are coming up right now for review, for some of you, even. Um, that's what connects to that number seven Cancerian energy at the beginning of the month and the, first half of the hero's journey. Now, then when we get into the latter half of the month, that's when we start to feel more of the number eight universal energy of July. Eight, because we're in a universal 1 year this year, and seven plus one is eight. So that's when we kind of get more like the strength card in tarot, and that is a lion on that card, Leo energy, right? So Leo season is more where we will be uh kind of taking a look at, okay, we got all this wisdom, we did all this work, now what do we do with it? What have we learned? How are we going to embody it? How are we going to share it with others, right? Because that's the second half of the hero's journey, is coming back to the community and sharing what you have learned. So it becomes part of your medicine, right? And so Cancer, you guys, with this being, your month to shine, this is going to really impact you guys. So the question I want you to kind of keep in mind as we go through your reading is, what is it? What is it that you have been working on in private, that's ready to become part of your path? Ready to become your medicine. What is that? All right, let's get into it, you guys. So we are starting off with your emotional frequency for this month, and it's card 44, Lavender. Connect to body, mind, and soul. Okay. So, lavender might feel like a little soft, gentle color, right? But I don't necessarily think this is gonna be a soft, gentle month for you guys to just kind of coast through or surf the waves, Cancer, because there will be some waves. Um, 44 is also, it's known as two dual energies, right? Um, Traditionally speaking, it's kind of called the master builder in numerology. I like to think of it as the master healer too, because it also relates to your heart, and I'll get into that in just a minute too. But so it does have a dual nature to it, okay? Um, and I feel like with this, something about creating alignment for you guys, something about structure and stability and all of that, like a healing that leads to security and stability, right? It's the dual sides of the 44. Um, like I said, it is that master builder energy. So that is about creating more alignment in your life, especially around something that you already kind of intuitively know, something that relates to your spirituality and your environment, body, mind, and soul kind of connection. So you might be feeling it already in your body. Things you've been kind of sensing, that nudge, that urge to expand or grow. Um, some of it might be things you've been thinking about for a long time. This is all about bringing you back into alignment. So your soul might be ready for a change, but your daily life might still kind of look like the old version of you. And now that's kind of shifting. You see what I mean? You're starting to kind of shifting, and you're probably getting some ideas and insights and guidance on that, the little intuitive nudges and things like that. They might not have landed for some of you just yet. It might still just kind of be coming in little pieces and parts. Maybe you don't have the whole puzzle yet, right? Um, so, for some of you, I think you might be so busy kind of uh caretaking that you forget to check in with yourself on things too, So, um for some of you, this is going to be kind of taking a look at what you need to do or shift in order to feel more connected. Like, what do you need to heal to feel more connected, mind, body, and spirit? Um, especially in your day-to-day kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like if you live a very spiritual life, but your physical life doesn't match that, that's going to really be amplified for you guys this month, okay? It's really going to become very clear. So let's get into it. The biggest areas of impact for you guys and how this shows up is through 78 spiritual career, 44 environment, and 22 intuition. So you have another 44. Okay. Now first we have 78 in pink and purple, okay, with the spiritual career card. Um, Now for some of you, if a spiritual career is something you've been, considering, that could be part of this. And it doesn't necessarily mean like quit your day job and become a psychic overnight. But you know, it does point towards something spiritual. It could be a healing path or a creative path, of something related to your soul purpose, something that involves your spiritual practices and beliefs and being of service, right? Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to mean psychic, but I'm throwing that out there because you have intuition here, and I do see a lot of that for you guys, especially with the master numbers you have showing up here. So some of you are kind of master healers, right? And in that arena, that you are leading a spiritual career. Um, you know, so for some of you, it could look like that, but it is about a purpose driven kind of path, you know. So that's going to look different for everyone, right? Um, this is about taking something that matters to you deeply and um, taking it more seriously and really stepping into it. I don't know, I just got this kind of visual for some of you where it's like really embodying your spiritual gifts and using them in service, okay? Um, certain gifts, talents, healing abilities, right? 44. Um, but yeah, I think July is going to kind of show you that This is ready to be made a priority. It might require some more time or energy from you, your spiritual path, or using your spirituality in service in some way. Um, you know, it might need more than just your kind of extra time. Like maybe you need to make more time, make it more of a priority for some of you, you know? Um, Pink and purple together is very much a heart-led spiritual service, right? Because pink is your high heart chakra, so that's your connections with other people. That's, your relationships, and this is how your purpose connects to that. Like, like spiritual awareness, spiritual service. So this could be for some of you like how like your purpose is connected to the things that you have lived through, like the hard things, the things that you've learned through lived experiences, through healing yourself, and there might be some part of that that you're meant to turn into spiritual service of some kind in support of humanity. That could be through art or through teaching, or um, just some type of meaningful work, okay? Some type of meaningful work. Now, 78 is what, 15, so that reduces to a 6, and 6 is being of service and care and nurturing, compassion, all of that kind of stuff. Um, in a very real way that is supportive to not just you but others too, right? It's that um, balanced care and service. Um, so, uh, you know, how can you um, how can you kind of bring more meaning into the work that you do? Or how can you give your spiritual gifts a more solid foundation, um, and to be in service too, right? Or a more solid place in your life, right? Something like that. Now, like I said, you have another number 44 with environment here in this green. Okay. And like I said, with that repetitive 44 showing up, twice here, I want you guys to really pay attention to that. Um, Pay attention to your environment this month. That's going to be very important. Okay. It's either helping you grow into this expanded version of you and it's supportive to your dreams and things like that, or does it keep you looping in the same old patterns? So looking at that is going to be really important this month. You know what I mean? Um, there could be some shifts in this, some changes kind of taking place. And it could look different for everybody. Like it doesn't always have to be something over the top or dramatic in any way, but it could just be like shifting things. Like I said, like maybe for some of you, it could be as simple as rearranging furniture in your house or decluttering or whatever, right? Like it could be just that to kind of shift the vibe or shift the energy. For some of you, it might be like, yeah, I really need to take a look at my environment and walk away. Or for some of you, it could be getting out the damn house. Maybe you've been in hermit mode for a long time or something like that. So it could be that too. It's something about that and how this environment is conducive to your growth. Does it support your path, or does it deter you in any way? Really kind of pay attention to that this month. And I would also pay attention to, like I said, your emotional environment, like how the people around you, how do they make you feel emotionally? You know, like do they encourage you when you start talking about your goals and what you want to do and whatever? Or do you feel like you have to kind of play small? Like, do you kind of shrink? Maybe you don't speak about certain things, especially if it's spiritually related and certain people just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, for some of you, it might look like certain friends that just don't understand your path. Maybe it's family that just doesn't understand your path, right? So this could be different for everyone, but this is about not shrinking yourself. This is about making sure that you are in environments that support your growth and support your healing, because this green energy is heart related. It's heart chakra, just like the pink, but this is, heart chakra, high heart chakra, inner world, outer world kind of thing here. So, you need to be in spaces, especially this month, that are supportive to you and to your growth, and people who, you know, make it easier for you to be yourself, not, harder. Okay, then we also have 22 intuition. Okay, so another master number. And 22 is a builder energy. And that's why I like to differentiate when I was, talking about like 44, how it can be kind of dual-sided with building and healing. Okay, it's the master builder, master healer. But 22 is a builder energy. And orange connects to your second chakra or sacral chakra, right? So that is like the seat of your emotions. Um, that's also where your fear, your instincts, your desire, and even your creativity, they all live in that second chakra. But so does your intuition. So you feel in your body whether something is for you or not. The environments that you're in, you feel whether that place is for you or not. People, whether they're for you or not. Like it's all part of this. So I feel like your intuition is trying to lead the way this month, and kind of um really guiding you, through all the signs and synchronicities and things like that, where it's actually guiding you to make certain choices, that help you to align with the path and with the kind of life that you actually want to live. You know what I mean? Like what you're really trying to build for yourself, your dreams, right? Um, so, you know, um, with this connect to mind, body, and soul thing here, I also kind of feel like your intuition might be, for some of you, um it might be kind of coming through your body more than your thoughts right now. um it might feel like a kind of magnetic pull that's guiding you in a certain direction. You might even feel like excitement, like excitement when you think about it, or if you allow yourself to kind of daydream, about what it is that you really want. You'll know when it's aligned for you, when you feel that sense of excitement. And the same too, I feel like your body's speaking to you and your intuition is guiding you too about, heaviness you might feel in your body when something's not right for you, you know? Um, but yeah, I feel like your intuition is really kind of guiding you into an expanded version of life for yourself. And maybe it wasn't even something you thought was possible, that you're just, I don't know, maybe you're starting to see that it is, and you don't have to settle for a 3D life when you're, a 12D spirit being. Something like that, I don't, that might resonate for some of you might not. But anyway, the point is that you are being shown that it is possible for you to live a life that you really desire, and you don't have to settle for something that no longer feels aligned, right? Something that no longer feels good in your heart, something that no longer nourishes your soul the way that you nourish other people. So let's get to the underlying energy here. Um, because this is kind of like the deeper layer to all of this and what's really showing up. So, what's underneath this? We have the energy of fear. We have great achievement, new supportive connections, and a commitment. Okay. So, with this fear coming through as the energy card, and it's a number five, five brings change. So, the fear for a lot of you is showing up because you feel this shift, you feel this new direction, you feel that expansive energy, and you're again like, what would life look like if you allowed yourself to pursue what really is in your heart, that you dream about, that you're passionate about, and conquered your fear, you know? For some of you, like, you might be afraid to be seen differently if you follow more of a spiritual career type of path than a traditional work path. You know, you might have fear kind of showing up around how people might judge or what they might think, you know, because they just simply don't understand it. Um, Now, for some of you too, I will say, um, not necessarily like a fear of failure of any kind, but a fear of success. Like, because success can change the whole role that you've played your entire life in your family, your friends, your relationships, your own mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's, there might be a fear of being successful in certain areas where people don't understand, like I said. But with this number one event card, great achievement, um, I feel like you accomplish overcoming that fear. This is a great achievement. This is with the number one, it's something new. It's a beginning of something. So it could be like you have a breakthrough and then opportunities come in. Either way, this is like a personal win, you know. And maybe you through this kind of see like how capable and strong you truly are. You know, you're not just like you're not, especially for those who are like in service, like we're thinking about it, whatever. This feels like a recognition for some of you that like you're not just dreaming about something anymore. I feel like it might be becoming real and tangible for some of you. And that can be a path, like, like I said, a spiritual service kind of path. Like maybe for some of you, you never thought you could kind of, get out of the mundane rat race kind of thing and then, you know, um, work for yourself or be an entrepreneur, that kind of thing, or whatever. It looks different for everybody, but you get the point. Um, you're actually moving towards your goals. That's what this feels like. And then we have number eight, people, new supportive connections. Um, I love this for you, Cancer, because it's the number eight, right? Like we've got, like I told you, the latter half of the month when we get in that Leo energy, that is number eight. And this is like an alternate timeline. Eight's like karmic, it's timelines, it's like stepping out of the loop and into something new. That's what this shift is all about for some of you. And it brings in, like I said, new opportunities with this number one, a new chapter, and that brings in new supportive connections, you know? Um, and this is supportive kind of people that like really understand you and where you're going, especially if it's like a spiritual career related path. These are your tribe. This is your soul tribe. This is your people who understand you. They understand your path and they can probably help you get there, where you want to go. So, this for some of you can be new friendships and stuff, collaborations of some kind, or even like mentorship, right? Um, a class, a community, or I don't know, just people that really kind of see you and what you're trying to build for yourself and who can help you. They, like I said, it feels it's supportive connections. So, you really need that right now, I feel like for a lot of you, you know. Um, with this number eight, um, these can be, like I said, soul family coming in because eight relates to karma. And we give karma a bad rap, but karma's good too, right? So this is supportive connections that come in too because you're aligned, you know. So these people might be good to help support you on your journey. Maybe they help boost your confidence in some way. Because, like I said, your environment is really important. Who you have around you is really important. How do they fuel you and nourish you, or do they deplete you? So when these new people come in, right? They are ones that kind of help boost your confidence and help you see that, this can be real. So, and also that you don't have to do everything alone. You have support, you got real help from real people who are willing to support you in your dreams versus maybe some who haven't, right? Okay, now we also have this number three event card, commitment. Okay. So for some of you, especially with this new supportive connections here, this can be a higher level commitment with a person, right? This could be a relationship of some kind, like a romantic relationship maybe. The deepening of a relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be new, but this is, a committed relationship of some kind, okay? Now, for some of you, it's going to look like that. For some others, it might be the commitment you're making to yourself and to being in service and to doing your own inner work and things like that too. Healing that karmic wound or conquering your own fears or whatever it is, right? You're making a commitment to um, connect to your body, mind, and soul and really trust yourself and trust your own intuition and your own voice instead of allowing fear to get the best of you and let it kind of talk you out of what you want or what you feel is possible for you in your life. And that's really important because this is a number three, and number three, uh, that relates to your creative expression and also how you communicate. So that's how you manifest, right? Um, so, you know, name name the thing that the dream seed that you want to plant or the goal or the dream, whatever it is, right? Name the goal, the commitment that you are making, whatever it is. Make it kind of clearly defined and really kind of like speak it out loud. Make a vision board for some of you. Do make a list for some of you if you have to stay on track about something. I don't know. This commitment is a contract of some kind, and it can be a soul contract, right? It can be a karmic contract of some kind with a new person, or like I said, yourself. And for some of you, this can look like the family patterns you inherited, the soul contract related to those karmic people in your family. That can look like rewriting or renegotiating that soul contract or tearing it up altogether, right? No longer willing to hold that kind of stuff. And that might be the great achievement, right? Overcoming that family pattern that keeps you looping in a state of fear and all of that. You're signing a new soul contract to be in service and live from the heart and share your gifts and creativity with the world in whatever way feels good to you, right? It's a commitment to you, yourself, your work, your, whatever. So no longer allowing fear to get the best of you. Okay. Um, Now, I will say overall, when I look at this with the deeper layer and everything, your kind of direct guidance, fear comes in for a reason sometimes. I'm telling you not to listen to it. I know sometimes fear we can feel means to stop, but I feel like this is about the fear you feel in expansion. And um, I feel like it means you guys are on the edge of something that truly matters to you that you're about to breaking through into that thing, you know? And so yeah, it's time to trust your intuition, you know? Um, Also, make room in your environment for your dream to fit in your life. Whatever that looks like for you, make sure the vision that you have for your future, make sure your environment is conducive to that, that it fits, that it aligns, and give it your dreams kind of space and room to grow. You know what I mean? And make sure you're allowing yourself to be supported through this, all of it. You don't have to do all of this shit alone. I know you guys like to sometimes, but like, you know, you have a lot of support coming in, so pay attention to that because some of these are soul aligned connections with people who are maybe you're meant to collaborate with them in some kind of way, or maybe they're just part of your soul family. Whatever it is, this is a karmic relationship of some kind coming in with another person, and there is a soul contract. So, you know, pay attention to that. Pay attention to what your intuition keeps showing you over and over again, whether, you know, it's synchronicities or ideas or dreams or whatever it is. Pay attention to that because your intuition is giving you the guidance and everything about your next step and how to set all of this up and do all of this, you know? Um, Now, your spiritual support this month is very, very strong because you've got White Eagle ancestor spirit saying that a family wound or pattern can be healed right now. Okay. So like I was saying, I really think that that connects to the fear card. Like, I think that the ancestral pattern, maybe, or family wound or pattern, is probably something that you inherited, and that can be related to like the fear of being seen or um you know, like I said, your path looking different and all of that, or like speaking up for yourself or whatever, claiming the life that you want. There might be a fear there. You know, it might be fearful because you're doing something different than anyone in your family has ever done. So for some of you, that is what breaks the family you know, pattern. That is what heals the family wound, is being willing to follow your own path. You know, it's ain't about living a life that keeps everybody else happy. It's about you, right? So, this can, you know, actually help you heal that family pattern just by honoring your truth, following your intuition, and following the path that you truly want for yourself, even if it looks different than what society says is acceptable or what have you, you know, if it's different than what your family has done or traditional careers. Um, then you also have Lord Shiva with transcendence, okay? Asking you to rise up and honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Okay. So I love that this comes in with the intuition because, like I said, you are being, you know, guided through every step of this. So trust it, trust what you're being shown. It's not going to be the whole path, you know, like I said, you're probably getting bits and pieces of it, and then the whole puzzle will come together eventually. But just keep looking for that next step. Like that guidance is coming in very strongly. Okay. Um, Now transcendence, you know, that is also about letting go. And for some of you, that can be letting go of a life that was just too small for what you're actually here and meant to do, you know? Things are falling away. Whatever is falling away is falling away because it is meant to, and because it doesn't fit the person you're becoming. So you have to make space in your environment so that you have room to become that person, and so that your dreams have room to take root, you know, and so that the right people who do support you can come in. So that's big. You also have Joan of Arc with the voice of truth. And she says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So, like I was saying, this could be something you've been kind of holding back on because you're afraid of what people think or how they're gonna, react or whatever. It might not necessarily even be your career for some of you. It could be related to something totally different, like boundaries that you set or like a truth that needs to be spoken. I mean, it might even just be a part of you that you don't share with them. You know what I mean? Like for some of you, it could be as simple as your relationship preferences, right? Um, things like that. Things that you feel are easier to hide than have to deal with being misunderstood and everything else. But Joan of Arc says, fuck being silent. Speak your truth. It doesn't matter who agrees with you, likes it, or whatever. You know, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. That is how you manifest. You have to have a powerful throat chakra, right? Speak your truth. That is related to your authenticity. Now, you also have, speaking of authenticity, the Shekinah, the sacred self. Okay, telling you to unleash your spirit, express your gifts, and dance to the sacred rhythm of life. This is like the heart of everything. This is you becoming, your highest self. Like really unleashing your true soul essence and just embodying the fullness of who you are. Finally, that's what this feels like. For some of you, you haven't been able to do that. This is about um life belonging to you instead of feeling like other people have a say so, you know? That's what this is all about for some of you. Expressing your gifts. And look at the Merkaba that matches the Merkaba here on all of the numerology cards too. So, and connection to mind, body, and spirit. That is alignment. That's full body alignment, full body transcendence. That's huge for some of you. Like this is really big. This is your divine mission here on earth that you are aligning with. This is really big. Yeah. I love that for you guys. Okay, now let me go ahead and read your final guidance from Spirit. Dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So, whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So, whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough, and abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path right now. Keep believing, then the seeing happens. Loving you more and more every day. I freaking love this. Cancer, I like when I look at the wholeness of this, I feel like you guys are literally like standing like right at the starting line of a whole new cycle or like a whole new chapter. And it's going to require you to like probably trust yourself more than you've ever trusted yourself before. Because this is about your spiritual calling, your soul purpose, the reason you are here, your gifts, you know, your talents. There's something you guys are being encouraged to build for yourself. And, you know, even if you're still trying to figure out exactly how you want that to look, that's okay. This is a calling into that. That's what I was saying. Um, and fear is understandable because when your soul is expanding to this level, it's only natural for fear to show up, but it does not get to make the decisions for you. You need to trust your intuition and remove anything that pulls you back into those old fear cycles. Like I said, even if it's family that pulls you back into that place, because you have a lot of supportive people ready to come into your life and help you. All kind of guidance, support, a chance to really kind of create a different life for yourself. One that's actually aligned um with your soul, who you really are at the root of your being, not who everyone else expected you to be, or who you had to become for the sake of other people, or even in survival mode. This is about where you are now and having your life match that, so make room for everything that's trying to grow, and remember that you deserve it, you know and remember that the true version of you deserves to be seen, deserves to be expressed and embodied. Your truth deserves you to embody it. Fuck what anybody else thinks. Okay. So much love to you, Cancer Soul family. I would love to hear in the comments how this landed for you. What resonated. And yeah, if you would like to book a personal reading with me to go deeper into this and see exactly how it impacts you directly, I will drop that information, booking links and stuff in the video description. And I am available. And if you are not following me on social media, I'll drop my links in there too, so you can follow me on Facebook, because I do Tarot Tuesday weekly. And I usually pull like free cards for anyone who comments. And that's where I also offer readings at a discounted rate, where you could either like send a donation and get a little mini reading that day related to the energy or the cards I'm using or whatever. Or um, I also offer recorded full readings at a discounted rate on those days as well. And that's for people who, don't like to do the whole live Zoom session, or who maybe don't have time for it or just don't feel like waiting. That's another option I offer on Tarot Tuesdays. So, but you got to make sure you're following me on Facebook. Okay. So, all right, Cancer, I love you guys. Sending you all the love, light, and many blessings for July and always. All right. Take care, you guys.